Hello people, it's your boy Osman back again with another video. This time it's Manchester United v Barcelona, the preview. First things first, just want to say, if you're new here, feel free to subscribe. Man is very close to 100, only 2 off. Drop a like, share and all that good stuff. Yeah, just before we go into the game regarding Manchester United v Barcelona, I just want to have a quick recap on our last game, which was against Real Madrid, which we drew 1-0 and ended up winning in probably the worst penalty shootout in the history of penalty shootouts. We ended up winning that 2-1 in the penalties. However, the game in general, first things first, Real Madrid fielded pretty much their strongest team in the first half, minus Ronaldo. We had pretty much a mixed bag in both halves. Just regarding that game in general, I've seen a lot of United fans getting very, very happy by the fact that we obviously went toe-to-toe, so to speak, with Real Madrid. Obviously, Real Madrid are a fantastic club. Just want to talk about that in general and just... my personal opinion is I think people are looking too much into it. First and foremost, it's a pre-season game and a friendly, so it's not really that important. You could clearly tell in the first 10 minutes that the Real Madrid players' match sharpness was definitely not there. There's so many occasions in the first half that they were just not the Real Madrid that, you know, won the league and obviously won the Champions League last season. They weren't pressing, they weren't hurrying, they weren't really doing much, especially considering they had the best team on minus Ronaldo, obviously. So yeah, like I'd say is I wouldn't look too much into that. But bearing that all in mind, in fact, what I will look into is the fact that they didn't even flipping have match sharpness and we still struggled to break them down. Let's be honest, yes, we had a lot of the ball in the first half. However, I just didn't feel like we were actually doing anything. We weren't really penetrating. It was a bit like Van Gaal. Sad football. So for me personally, the main thing I gained from that game, well, there's two things. First being that we are very far off the sort of calibre of Real Madrid and Barcelona currently. Well, I suppose that's not a surprise. And the second thing is we really need a CDM. It's simple as that. We need somebody in the middle of the park that's going to spray the ball. You know, somebody like Toni Kroos, but somebody who's also very mobile, quick on the feet, just an overall player that has the capabilities of actually flipping, changing defense into attack quickly, because so many occasions that it was so slow, and especially against a team of Real Madrid's caliber, they're going to be able to set up and just be able to sort of nullify any attack that is presented towards them. You know, that game, there was actually hardly anything that happened in that game. There was obviously that moment of absolute brilliance by Martial. If you haven't seen it, flipping go on YouTube and check it out. Martial is ripping Carvajal a new one pretty much. He flipping spun him into next week. It's absolutely sublime. It went through about 3 players and played after Lingard getting a goal. They went and obviously scored via penalty, which was a massive mistake by Lindelof. Again, a lot of people criticising Lindelof for his mistake, which is completely understandable. But I'd come back to the same point, saying it is pre-season. He needs an opportunity to obviously settle in first and foremost. But just to get up with the paces, you need to realise he's coming from the Portuguese league. He was obviously at Benfica. The pace is not going to be on the same level first and foremost. But the second time, he's not even had a pre-season. He's hardly had any minutes. He's just been a couple of cameos here and there. He's going to need time to adjust. You saw what happened with Marcel and other players like that. They were struggling. You know, Marcel is a world-class player. So, not making too many excuses for Lindelof, but just relax. People are over-exaggerating and saying he was a flop. We saw what happened with Vidic and Evra in the first couple of weeks at Old Trafford. They were absolutely appalling. So, hopefully, it's just something similar to that and he would find his feet eventually. So, talking about this game in particular, so Manchester United against Barcelona, you know, sticking to the same thing, it is pre-season. Of course, we have won 4 games on the bounce. Real Madrid and Man City, the only 2 sort of oppositions that you would actually class as wins. But even bearing that all in mind, I wouldn't really read too much into it. However, Barcelona, different kettle of fish in so many different aspects. Main being MS, and let's not make no mistake about it, Messi, Suarez, Neymar are an absolute formidable force. Even the Barcelona youngsters are good enough to make it into majority of teams in the Premier League, if not flipping have their own team in the Premier League and actually be on par with Everton teams like that. So for me, I think it'll be an interesting game to see how we go against Barcelona. You know, like I said with Real Madrid, they've not really had much opportunity to, you know, sort of warm up, just have a sort of pre-season in general. I just think let's not get too carried away. It is a pre-season. It just gives an opportunity to build a bit of confidence. Yes, the Real Madrid game doesn't really mean much in the grand scheme of things, but it does give a bit of confidence to some of the individuals who had a decent performance. And Martial, obviously that amazing run gives him a bit of a boost, and people are starting to talk about Martial again after that. Yeah, so regarding the Barcelona game in general, First things first, I want us to please revert back to the 3-5-2. This 4-3-3 formation is not working because we do not have the personnel. This is the main reason I don't want Matic. A lot of people are saying to me, Usman, you're being a bit too harsh. Matic is a quality player. I do agree to that an extent. If we were to play the 3-5-2 formation, I think Matic would be absolutely fine because he has the sort of protection of the full-backs. So obviously, when we're defending, we'll have 5 at the back. So it gives Matic a bit more protection. And so he's not going to be caught out as much as he would be in a 4-3-3 because he's not quick enough in a 4-3-3 for me personally. If he was to be sitting as the anchor role, just sweeping up, I think he's going to be having to do too much work. And if anything, we're going to have to make Pogba do a bit of defensive duties with Matic. And that's the whole point of us buying a CDM, to free up Pogba. So for me, it kind of defeats the point. However, if we were to get Matic, is better than Fellaini. So you know, it works both ways. Yeah, so regarding the formation, 3-5-2 for me, it has to be 3-5-2 because we haven't got the personnel, unfortunately, to play 4-3-3 currently. So I'll start with Romero in net. The 3 at the back, I'm going to go with Bailly, Lindelof, mainly because I feel like them two need to obviously try to build a partnership. We've seen what happened with Lindelof so far. He's not been fantastic in any of the games I've watched. I just think obviously he needs more minutes and just that sort of arm around the shoulder and a bit of confidence. Obviously, after what's happened with Real Madrid, it'd be nice to see him start just so he can obviously see that Jose has faith in him still. Anyway, so yeah, Bailly, Lindelof, left centre back. I'm going to go for Daley Blind. Why not try our 3 sort of potential centre-back partnership against Barcelona's absolute formidable force, which is MSN. Yes, I know Rojo would probably be in there, but from what I'm hearing, I don't think Rojo's going to be fit until flipping December, which is absolute travesty because it means Smalling or Jones are probably going to be playing. Yeah, so moving on to the wing-back positions. For me, no-brainer, Valencia right wing-back, left wing-back. I'm going to stick to Jesse Lingard at the left wing-back position. I thought he was fantastic the last time he played there. I know it's kind of contradictory because I'm not a huge fan of him, but I just think he can do a job there better than what we've got at the moment. Darmian for me is not quick enough, noisy, expansive enough going forward, and also Blind is too slow pretty much. However, I don't mind him going forward. Yeah, so Lingard at left wing back, centre mid. I'm going to go for Pogba and Herrera. Again, I want them to have opportunities to play. I'm going to go for Mkhitaryan in the number 10, and up top I'm going to stick to Lukaku and Rashford. Yes, I know that's a very attacking team and it's only pre-season, but we need to flip and get some players gelling together, and we need to try our players out in the formation just to get them a sort of feel of how we want to play next season. It's against Barcelona. They're a good team, same as Real Madrid. Yes, they're not ready. They're probably not going to be sharp, match sharpness and all that good stuff. However, it's an opportunity for our players to build that bit of confidence, just that individual confidence as well. So, for example, if Mkhitaryan was to put in a good performance against the likes of Barcelona, it would obviously individually boost his confidence, and it's just about building the morale in the team and improving the team spirit. So yes, obviously I want us to win. However, it's not end of the world if we don't win. I just think people are looking too much into it. That works both ways, in the sense that if somebody was to play fantastic, yes, that is a positive. However, don't get too carried away because most of the teams aren't really match fit. And again, with the Lindelof situation, if a player is absolutely shocking or has makes mistakes, should we say, don't overreact and obviously get on their backs too early, because I just think it's a bit of an overreaction in general, because it's pre-season. Relax. It doesn't mean everything. So yeah, what have we learned so far from pre-season? For me personally, just to quickly summarize on everything that I think we've learned so far, is we definitely need a centre mid for me personally, or CDM. It's a massive importance for us. Yes, I understand that the market is scarce at the moment. Quite a lot of the talented players have gone, and going by what I've heard is signing a new contract. Bakayoko has obviously gone to Chelsea. Dyer, Matic, Fabinho, the only 3 really that have been linked with United at the moment. I don't really want any of them, but I want Fabinho out of the 3 100%. But we'll see what happens. The Perisic situation, again, he's obviously with Inter Milan in the pre-season. I'm not really overly fussed about the Perisic situation. Yes, we obviously need a left wing as well, or a left wing back in, depending on what formation he's playing. However, I feel like we can cater to that that sort of position more than the CDM. For me, CDM is a necessity. I don't want to see Fellaini playing there. It's as simple as that. Fosu Mensah, Pereira, I'm more than happy to see them to get an opportunity to play there. However, if it's Fellaini, then I'm going to pull my hair out and probably shave my beard off as well. But you know, we'll see what happens. That aside, I'm just going to go for a score prediction of 2-1 to Manchester United. I think it's going to be a close game. I can see Messi causing an absolute madness, but I'm going to say Suarez is probably going to get the goal for Barcelona. And for Man United, I'm going to go for Rashford. And you know what? I'm going to go Mkhitaryan. Rashford and Mkhitaryan for the goals for United. Apart from that, feel free to leave your comments. Like I said, if you are new, feel free to subscribe. I'm 2 off 100. Drop a like, share, all that good stuff. And it's been your boy, man. Take care. Come on, United. Come on!